Hey, what's up? So, this is my video about an epic failure. I mean, it happens in life. So, like this is my car, 2006 Volkswagen Jetta, and I have been fixing it up, trying to breathe some life into it. And I refurbished these rims. You can't see it from there, but I put a lot of effort into them. I bought them used off Craigslist and tried to fix them. Fix all the curb rash and stuff like that. I mean, polished aluminum. It's certainly a process, and it's evident that I did it. They're not perfect by any means, especially when you see them in the light and this and that. I mean, it's quite obvious, and it's it's frustrating just because of how much effort I put into it. A whole weekend sanding down aluminum. It was a lot of work, going from 320 grit to 400 grit to 600 grit to 1,000 grit to 2,000 grit, and then get the tires, and it was expensive. Just like the rubbers, was a lot of money, and then an alignment, and I mean, it's frustrating because I paid a lot of money and I don't have the result that I'm looking for. Like I said, it looks okay in the shade when you don't see them in the light and whatnot, but it's tough to sit with that, to be like, okay, well, I did this and I did my best. I was, you take a chance anytime you sit down and decide that you're going to do something and hope that it works out. And, today I got the result of something that I put my heart into, and it, didn't quite pan out the way that I thought that it would. And it cost a lot of money, and it certainly took a lot of time for me to do, and it's challenging. I mean, that's the difference between being a novice and a professional. Like, a professional knows all the little tips and tricks and the things that's important to watch out for, because if you don't, then you end up with an unprofessional look. Like, it looks, you can tell. It's like I'm doing flooring right now. I'm working for a guy doing laminate flooring, laminate hardwood, that kind of thing. And so we're doing this big house out in it's like a farmhouse, big, really nice place. And there's things that if you just don't know what you're looking at, you don't see. You don't know what to pay attention to, what's really important, and how to go through the right steps. And that's the thing, is that you can miss certain steps that are critical when it come down the line. And there's this big floor, and we're putting down a subfloor. So it's there's one type of wood, then you got to put this other plywood sheets on top of it, and then they put laminate vinyl strips. They glue them down over top of that. But underneath, where all of these other boards are, all the joints, they were high. And so when I looked at this, it just looks like a floor. If I was to do it, I would have just done it. But my boss, he's just no. When the light shines in through here, because the sun comes in there, you're going to see all of those joints all along the boards, and it's going to look terrible. So it's it takes a keen eye, and it takes experience to know how to do something properly to achieve a professional look. And that's what you pay for, essentially. When you get something done, you're paying for the experience that a person has from doing a job properly a number of times. And so here I sit with this, and I have to live with it. It's mechanically fine. It drives straight. Of course, the rubber's good, but because they're bigger rims, it changed the ride height, and it changes the size in the wheel well. I didn't think about those kind of things when I got these, because it was just beyond my scope of vision. I saw a cheap set of rims that I figured I could fix up, and make into something that I thought would be super cool. But like as soon as I saw it, when my boss brought me back to the place where I was getting them put on, I was like, oh, I don't like it instantly, because it changes the look, changes a number of things about it that I just I like the way that my car looked, and all of these little considerations like the ride height and the little things. I mean, it all adds up, and it's kind of frustrating, you know. I have to look at the whole situation like well, I did my best. I really did. I took a chance, and it's not the worst by any means. The one thing that's great is that the speedometer is bang on. I checked it with like an app, whereas like before it was like out. Now like 100k on the speedometer and on the app, like followed by GPS. So like mechanically, she's sound. I mean, and it's not like it looks bad. It's just, well, it doesn't look how I like in, you know, if you're a critic or you're picky, and I am. But, you know, at the same time, my car isn't perfect. You know, you can see that there's like a scar right there where I ran it into, it was like my ex-girlfriend into her van, and it left a scar. I healed from that one. The car has not healed, because it's like, it was just, I haven't, you know, gotten around to it. But yeah, it's challenging, you know, having to deal with something that on the surface, at least, it looks like a failure. I mean, because I know that as a result of going through this process, I learned something about myself and how I approach certain situations. That, yeah, there's things to be taken into account, and it's okay to make mistakes, or there is a learning and a growing process from it all. You know, and trying. I'm making an effort not to be too beat up about it, but at the same time, I can recognize my own shortcomings and how I will help, or I will conduct myself in the future when I get myself into projects. Like, I have this van that I'm working on here, and so, you know, perhaps down the line, moving forward down the line, I will have learned from this experience, and, you know, I could have left the rims as they were, and they'd probably look better than they do right now. Maybe just because they don't look quite right. They're you can see some of the sanding marks and stuff like that. I straight up didn't do a good enough job, and I have to swallow that. I mean, I guess it's my pride, because like I was hoping that it would just be, in a word, like mobbing. I would be like, I got these gangster rims on there, and it'd be like, yo. But yeah, but I don't know. So I try not, I guess, you know, it's tricky not to get emotional about this kind of stuff, because it feels like an epic failure, even though I can see the plus side about it. So I got my bike mounted on the back. I think I need to I wanted to make this video about it, because it's kind of what I'm doing now, is sharing my experience with how I go through things and my perspective on that kind of stuff, with this YouTube channel that I've clearly decided to continue with. Yeah, I think I need to go to the river and have a cry, just because it's I just need to get something out that, I don't know if it's frustration or something, but and I need to go for a swim too, because it's like 34 or something today here. Summer, and it's hot. Yeah, I work so hard too. So that's all I really have to say. Not the end of the world, you know, not trying to make it out like it is that, but it's just a little disheartening when it, you know, doesn't work out as you thought. But but that's life. And that's why we get through it and we move on. Yeah.